What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are here live on the channel, guys. Another long form. If you guys are watching this live, you guys are here. But if you guys are not watching this live, watching this afterwards, this is more of like a long form podcast. We're gonna be breaking down my top 15 MMA fighters of all time. I made the list. Jack's probably gonna have McGregor in the top 15. We'll find that out. We'll find that out, guys. I know I get a lot of shit, for the whole Conor McGregor. I gotta say, man, hey, calling it now. We'll find out. Look, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna give away anything, but we'll see. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Some important things. You know what I mean? What's up, Jack? How's your week going? My week is going amazing. Thank you for asking. Yeah, guys, we're live right now. You know what I mean? So, first things on the agenda board. Speaking of Conor McGregor, I just wanted to point out, a year ago today, guys, well, not a year ago, like 7 years ago, or at this point, 9 years ago, my bad, guys. 9 years ago, Conor McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. I mean, fastest UFC knockout. Fastest UFC championship knockout, maybe even finish. I mean, yeah, we're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. So that just happened. Sorry, guys, I forgot to set up something for the stream. That's why I'm a little distracted. But yeah, like I said, everyone liked the video. What are you doing? Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Seriously, guys, everyone liked the video. Everyone comment, everything like that. Let me ask any question during the stream. We're gonna just be breaking out, kind of like how we did the picks last week. I didn't do picks for UFC Tampa. My prediction for UFC Tampa main event will be out tomorrow. And the video 10 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that. But this is, like I said, long form. We're gonna take a chill. Other news that you guys might be interested in: Barry Aldo's fastest championship KO. Yeah, it was. Championship KO, and I guess, well, I don't know about finish, but I think KO. Also, like I said, UFC 311 coming up. We saw the poster. Guys, when is the UFC gonna actually just boss up and get better posters? I mean, what are we doing here? This looks like something like out of Microsoft Paint or something. Like, this looks like easily photoshopped. There's fan posters that are better than this. Jack, you're gonna pick Colby. Well, we'll find out. I mean, I definitely I'll tell you, I'm not leaning towards Colby, but, I definitely am not 100%. I think that there's opportunities for Colby to do well. I mean, we haven't, look, at the end of the day, I genuinely believe that, that Colby Covington in the last fight with Leon Edwards, I believe that he was compromised, and I'm not just salty because I picked Colby and I was fairly confident in Colby. It's just, especially look at the Bilal Muhammad fight. I think Colby fought so weird that night that I don't really. The question is, what did he have an off night? Was it because he broke his foot early? Was it because I saw somewhere he had altitude sickness? I mean, is it really true, or was it that he's washed? Is it because he's not good anymore? Buckley's going to sleep him. It might be true. If Buckley, I think that's the thing, is Buckley could hurt him at all times. And Colby's gotten dropped a lot lately. I mean, I don't think he got dropped by Leon, but Leon doesn't really drop people. But he got dropped by Masvidal, which Masvidal hits hard. I'm not, taking away anything there. Masvidal knocked him down. Obviously, Usman knocked him down a whole lot. I mean, he's taken a lot of damage throughout the past 5 years now at this point. Since even taking the first Usman fight. So I think it's going to be a question of how good is his chin? Has he recovered well? Is this time off good? I mean, what is the time off caused? Like, there's so much questions when it comes to Colby. Like, I don't get why they didn't make any Ian Gary fight. I know Ian Gary Shavkat happened now, but I feel like they should have booked the Colby fight with Ian a long time ago. Is Colby at this point really? Because obviously there should be no question. Ian would fight Colby Covington, no question about it. The fact that he fought Shavkat on short notice and all that, no question there. Like, he's down to fight anybody, so we don't have to doubt that. But Colby at this point, it's like he doesn't fight anybody. What do you guys think? Guys, I'm posting this, and then we're gonna get into it. Yeah, guys, I think, like I said, I think Buckley stands a massive chance. I think the card is actually really cool. I mean, I'm kind of sad. Last main event of the year, man. You know, what a year we've had. We're going to have some big things to conclude, to celebrate, I guess, the end of the year, to celebrate the fact that, yeah, like we've covered this year ago. We're going to rank some stuff. That's all going to come out after next weekend. So I got a lot of stuff planned there. But let's get into it, guys. I know a lot of you guys, I feel like I was wasting a lot of time. I feel bad. I had to post that. I always forget to post it before what do you call it? Before I even start the stream. I always mean to do that. But top 15 greatest MMA fighters of all time. So this, look, we're here. This is look, there's a few that, well, let me first preface it by saying, what do I consider the greatest of all time? Okay. I'm not necessarily Colby by KO, TKO. Colby's heart isn't in it anymore. He stopped by Usman and immediately protested against Leon. He barely even tried to fight, compromise or not. No, he definitely did not try to fight. He definitely but the question is, was he broken because he's like, I fucked up my leg. I know I got altitude sickness. I know I have altitude sickness. Maybe, I mean, if that's true, obviously. And he's like, look, I'm not going to win this. I'm just trying not to get knocked out, and kind of accepted defeat. Absolutely. I mean, you can't deny that. He didn't try. I don't think he tried to the most he could with a broken leg, or a broken foot. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't press forward at all. The last round, it seemed like he just tried to snag the last round, trying to make it close just so he can get a rematch. I don't know. That's just what it seemed like to me. But the question is if he isn't injured, does that change? You know what I'm saying? Was it the injury that made him unmotivated, or is it not? I mean, that's what we're gonna have to find out, big time. So yeah, but back to this real quick. He's not the Colby who rallied after losing 2 rounds to Usman. Yeah, but like I said, I think if this was a normal Colby Covington and I felt like Leon did something that deterred Colby, I would be 1,000% agreeing. But I don't think Leon did much to do that to Colby. I think it was more about Colby. I genuinely think Colby would beat him in a rematch if Colby's 100%. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but that's just what I think. And I'm not a Colby fanboy anyway. Like, I know what you guys think. I'm like, you're trying to glaze him, or I'm delusional about him. No, I'm not a fan at all. I'm not, well, look, I don't hate him, but, not one of my, I'm not going to be rooting for him like crazy. So this is just coming unbiased, and, you could disagree, but I'm not being biased here. Like, this is just what I think. I think Colby would lose. I think Colby would win in a rematch with Leon. That's my opinion. Now, keep in mind, it's been a year since that fight. I think he's like 36 years old. I mean, at the end of the day, he's taken a lot of damage. Like, how does that affect the whole fight? How does that affect his mentality going into the fight? How does it affect his training as well? It seems like he's training with guys like Roberto Soldic. He's getting good training partners. But Joaquin Buckley, man, he doesn't seem phased. He doesn't seem to care. This doesn't seem like to be the normal Colby. I wonder if there's any truth to that final fight in the contract, because that would explain a lot of Colby being laid off, or not laid off, but layoffed. Which it seemed like Colby was self-inflicting doing that. Maybe the UFC just tried to do that to keep him around, sign him. It's weird. Something is so weird, and I think most people could agree with the UFC and Colby. Because Colby's getting title shots for no reason. He's never fighting anybody. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets a fight with Joaquin Buckley on like 3 weeks' notice after we haven't heard from him. A month ago right now, nobody would have expected Colby to be fighting. Nobody. Like, not one person. Leon didn't do anything to break Colby. Colby went in that fight lacking confidence. It didn't look like he cared 1,000%. That's exactly what I think. I don't think this was a situation where Leon was presenting a problem and Colby just accepted it and all that. No. I think, and was like, I don't care. No. I think that he probably was like, look, I'm not going to be able to win this fight. Which, look, some people would go out on their shield and be like, no, like, let me go forward. I don't care if I got a broken foot. This is my opportunity. If I get finished, I get finished, which is honorable. But I don't think Colby was thinking that, which you can obviously diss him for, because, yeah, you probably should be thinking like that if you want to win the title. But like I said, like, Colby just gave up because of the injury. And the question is, if he goes to a fight with Joaquin, You know, I think he could. I personally think if Joaquin drops him, I don't think Colby's going to give up, but just because I think it's just the injury, just in his head, he's like, yeah, there's no point. But I think if Leon had hurt him, I don't think Colby would have just given up. You know, that's just what I think. My opinion there. Colby used to be the person to think like that. I mean, yeah, you could argue that. We're gonna find out this weekend for sure. I mean, if I really can't sit here confidently and say Colby's not like that. It's just what I think. I personally think, but maybe that's just my own personal opinion. Like if I were in there and I got a hurt leg, maybe that's just what I think. Like maybe at that point, like I feel like that is a lot more of a reason to lack confidence. If you're Colby. But I think Joaquin has a chance. If Joaquin goes forward, Joaquin lands a shot on Colby. I mean, the biggest question is going to be, can he defend the takedown? I think he will early. I think if the longer the fight goes, longer favors Colby. I think this is truly 50-50. I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered to give. I think it's going to be super hard to predict just because we don't have the correct answers. But, you know, Joaquin's also a really big guy. He's going to be a hard guy to control. And I don't know, it's just like I said, it's just a whole weird all around. Like, I would have never guessed him fighting Joaquin Buckley out of all the young prospects. I felt like, why not Ian Gary? What's up, Piggly Wiggly? All right, but let's get into it. Let me get into this real quick, and then we'll continue throughout the numbers. But top 15 greatest MMA fighters of all time. So, first of all, I'm going to say off the bat, there's going to be people on here that maybe are ranked, let's say, number 1, and then another guy that's ranked number 2. Just because I think number 1 is number 1 doesn't mean I necessarily think he loses or it will beat, number 2. You guys understand what I'm saying? This isn't like necessarily pound for pound. This isn't like, you know, oh, this guy would beat this guy. And it's not going to be 15 beats 14, 14 beats 13. You know, it's not going to be, or I'm sorry, I should say 1 beats 2, 2 beats 3, 3 beats 4. It's not going to be like that, all right, guys? Like, I think there's a bunch of things. You got to consider the time, the winning streak. I think you got to consider level of opponents, how they do their opponents. Is there a lot of finishes? You know, is it just close decisions? How many wins do you have? I mean, I think that is not just, and of course, obviously, how good you are in skill. So I think a lot of people sometimes I think there's gonna be sometimes people put a little question marks here, like what are you talking about? This guy would beat this guy. Guys, like I said, it's about legacy as well. I count that too. I think it's a whole package, and it's not just simple as like I said, like 15 loses to 14, 14 loses to 13, etc. So, like I said, definitely going to be, I think, some interesting ones. We're going to start off with an interesting one. I feel like, I don't know if people will agree. If you don't agree, leave in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your top 15 list. So, let's get into it, guys. Shall we? Number 15, Alex Pereira. Now, I know this might raise a few eyebrows. Why is Alex Pereira even in the top 15? Now, I was a little surprised myself that I added him in here. I would not have guessed it before I made the list. If someone said top 15, I'd be like, huh, you know. But when you're actually listing top 15 fighters, Alex has done a lot. I mean, first of all, obviously came into MMA. Within first 3 fights, won a championship title against Adesanya, a guy who was reigning as the champion for a long time. I genuinely believe one of the greatest strikers in mixed martial arts. And truly, I would have had him higher. Yeah, I didn't know if people were gonna have, people were going to disagree, but like I said, I think he goes up there. So like I said, he wins the fight in the first 3 UFC fights, wins the title against Adesanya. He did lose to Adesanya. I think that had to do with the weight cut, and then immediately moves up, beats Jan Blachowicz, former champion, beats Yuri Prochazka, former champion. Beats Jamal Hill, former champion. Beats Yuri Prochazka again. Beats Khalil Roundtree. I mean, this guy, he is truly, I think, in the top 15. I mean, the fact that he goes up and down weight classes, the fact that he fights so frequently, the fact that, you know, he's taken fights in short notice. I think the biggest sort of error for him is his lack of well-roundedness. Obviously, we know he probably, against Magomed, I highly doubt he's going to beat Magomed just because I think Magomed is just a lot better of a wrestler. It's sad to see. I've seen him train. If he really masters takedown defense and is a hard guy to hold down, which, look, there's a chance. Glover is good. Glover's a good grappler. Glover, you know, out-grappled Jan. And Jan got, yes, out-grappled by Magomed. So what I'm trying to say is I guess Glover, you could make a case potentially is at the very least on the same level as Glover. What's up, buddy? New to the channel. Fun stream idea. I'm interested to see who makes top 15. Thank you, Johnny. Thanks for checking out the stream. I appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, usually when I'm streaming, I don't like, look, of course I like to chat and we're going to talk at the end, maybe look at some news, see what's up. But, I also like to come with a little bit of a segment, a little bit of something extra. So that's what we're doing here. Top 15 greatest. But yeah, I think Alex Pereira, clearly, I think he at least has to be somewhere there. He's just achieved so much in such little time. So let's move on. Number 14, BJ Penn. Now, I think a lot of people might be like, what? What, like question mark. Now, here's my reasoning here. All right, BJ Penn obviously had a great lightweight career, but underratedly also had a good welterweight career too, moving up and down weight classes. Submitted Matt Hughes in literally inside a round. And look, Matt Hughes at the end of the day, for like I said, former champion, I think the third greatest welterweight of all time, I'd probably say. And underratedly dominant. I mean, just because he lost, people look, you could say it's insane, but he has a lot of accolades. And like I said, I'm considering all things of finishing. I'm considering finishing ability. I'm considering, also moving up and down weight classes. I'm considering your reign and dominance, right? I'm not necessarily saying, well, I mean, BJ is actually pretty low on the list. Tony Ferguson at 13 now. Ferguson, well, you guys will find out. Maybe Ferguson's on here. Perhaps. But no, I think BJ Penn is on here. I think BJ Penn, you got to have him up a spot. I mean, just the fact finishing Matt Hughes is such a big thing on your resume. And like I said, at lightweight, he was good. Great jiu-jitsu, great ground game. And, truly unique. I mean, he did lose to George St. Pierre, but that was, of course, welterweight. And George St. Pierre is obviously George St. Pierre, which obviously you guys know. I'm sure he is going to be on the list. But no, I think, come on, you got to give BJ Penn respect. He was good, for sure. And obviously he had a bit of a losing streak, but in his prime, I think so. I think you got to give him his flowers there. So, moving on. Number 13, Alexander Volkanovski. Now, people might say it's low, but here's my reasoning. So, like I said, first things first, Alexander Volkanovski. You guys, like I said, once again, consider. I'm not saying every single person beats whoever. I'm saying? I'm not saying that Volkanovski necessarily loses, or well, actually, now I'm thinking about it, might be a little bit low. Now I'm thinking about it, but I'm not saying that everybody ahead of each other. I'm not saying it necessarily means like that they beat, that they're getting beaten by the person ahead. I'm struggling here, but look, you guys can say I'm crazy, but this is genuinely true. And I do think I regret it. The reason I'm kind of tripping now is because I kind of regret the placement. I think I could have rated him higher, and I'm going to get into why in a little bit, because I kind of made a little bit of a blunder, not going to lie. So, look, honestly, yeah, I kind of disagree with this a little bit now that I'm kind of thinking twice about it. I think it was a little bit of an error on the graph here, but look, point is, though, is Volkanovski, he's in this range, and I'll bump him up a couple spots, not going to lie. I'll tell you guys, I'm going to switch someone out because I think I fucked up. I think this is actually just an accident in the graph, so whoops, guys. But so consider him up a little bit more. But Volkanovski's obviously reason why he's top 15. What's up, Paulo? Yo, I love Paulo, bro still living the dream. Stipe knocking out John Jones, maybe in another universe, maybe in his prime. But I would say I'm gonna move him up a couple spots. You'll find out. You guys will get in a little bit, but I think I fucked up here, to be honest. Like, just making these graphs, so everyone calm down, because now I'm like, huh. But no, obviously he moved up and down weight class, fought Islam Makhachev. The first fight was very close, arguably won. I would have loved to see him fight Islam on a full camp. Obviously he has really good dominance amongst guys like Brian Ortega, Max Holloway, etc. And I think we'll do well at lightweight. I mean, I don't know now. I don't know if his chin is gone, but hey, that's pretty much it. But let's move on, because I want to show you guys who I switched him with. Number 12, Khabib. All right, yes, Khabib is in number 12. Yes, undefeated, 29-0, but you got to look at who he beat. He beat, 15 people or so that, hey, I love you, man. This guy's been commenting, man, for years at this point, and, I felt so bad. When I saw Stipe lose, I was like, I know my man's heartbroken. But he's fought 14 fights in the UFC. When you look at the people that he has beaten, in the UFC, yeah, he has some good names. I'm not going to deny. He has Gaethje, he beat, of course, good. Conor McGregor, yeah, good win there, especially at the time. It wasn't like a Conor McGregor of now. Khabib at 12, yeah, what do you think? Higher, lower? Let me know. And but when you look at those names, and there's gonna be something that are gonna piss. There's gonna be something coming up that pisses people off, and I'm gonna explain why. But I think at the end of the day, his wins have become a little bit outdated, especially when you've seen what Charles Oliveira has done to these guys. And I think Islam is better than him too. You know what I mean? In terms of skill, I don't think Islam has proven it yet to be on the list because I didn't put him on the list. But I think Khabib he is arguably one of the best grapplers in the UFC, if not, like, I think probably the best grappler. Period. Best wrestler, I should say, not best grappler. I should say best wrestler, but maybe even best grappler too, arguably. And yeah, so I think although he's beaten a lot of good names, Dustin Poirier included, it's a little bit of a question. So, and like I said, the Volkanovski placement was mixed. So consider, I think I fucked up a graphic. My bad, guys, on that, because there was something I fucked up. You guys will see in a bit. But number 11, I think this one's going to cause some controversy if this is the one I'm thinking of. Yes, it's Dustin Poirier. Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, Jack, Khabib beat Dustin Poirier. As I said, this isn't about someone beats someone. This isn't me ranking who's the best, who would win at all times, because you guys are going to see there's plenty of inconsistencies. Of course, I think Khabib beats Dustin Poirier 100 times out of 100 times. But Dustin Poirier has competed up and down weight classes, has the most knockouts at lightweight, has fought so many guys at lightweight, right? Even when not being a champion. Fought Michael Chandler, wasn't for a belt. When he beat Gaethje, wasn't for a belt. I know eventually he lost again. But when he beat Conor McGregor those times, wasn't for a belt. I mean, he has beaten those guys that Khabib has fought. Knocked down Charles Oliveira, did pretty good against him. Has fought the who's who at lightweight and featherweight. So I think you're considering going up and down. I think he has more accolades than Khabib does. Now, like I said, yes, he loses to Khabib because that's a specific. Khabib has a specific style that not a lot of people are going to be able to deal with. It just is what it is. But I don't think, like I said, that's a totally different list if we're going to do top 15 of who beats who, this person beats that person, etc. And yeah, so number 10, I believe, is the one that I mixed up. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Number 10, I believe, is the one that I mixed up. No, 10 is not. I think 9 is, or 9 or 8 or something, with Volkanovski. So anyway, Charles Oliveira, number 10. Now, like I said, I think people are going to be looking at Diamond's entire career. He definitely deserves to be here at 11. Yeah, 1,000%. Does he have the belt? No. Look, that's the only thing he doesn't have. But if all those fights that he won were for a belt, are we really going to count that different? No, his names and the way that he beats these guys are crazy. Always puts himself out there, has amazing fights. And yeah, that's it overall. Let's see. Number 10, though, Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira is, hot take, greatest lightweight of all time. Now, I'm a Charles Oliveira fan, so I'm willing to say I am biased. I'm extremely biased when it comes to this. But the reasoning being is people say Khabib. Well, Khabib, look at his title defenses. Look at the people that he's beaten, and then look at the people Charles Oliveira's beaten. Charles Oliveira has been at lightweight and also featherweight for a long time and has fought the who's who, has definitely better wins than Khabib, has the most finishes, has the most submissions, in UFC history. Beat Dustin Poirier, I think, faster than Khabib did. And then he beat Gaethje faster than Khabib did. He beat, who did he beat? Michael Chandler, which I feel like is twice now. So he's beat Michael Chandler twice. He beat Beneil Dariush in the first round. Very interesting viewpoints. Khabib is actually my GOAT, so respectfully disagreement. If Charles and Khabib are this low, who was above? We'll see. That's the thing, is I did think it was low too, but it's like, come on, you got to consider. Everyone agrees on the top 4 already. But yeah, no, Johnny ain't gonna like this list. But like I said, do I think Khabib, bro, he lost to Islam and Arman, who have a similar style to Khabib. So here's the thing, guys. Well, Arman is different. Arman, I feel like, doesn't necessarily have. I think Arman is a very strong grappler. But the thing about Oliveira's loss to Islam is he didn't lose because of the grappling, guys. If you guys recall, in the first round, Islam tried to grapple with Charles, stayed in the full guard of Charles, right? Every time he tried to pass Charles's guard, he was not successful. So I wonder how Khabib would have done against Oliveira if he took him down, if he also has that same problem where he can't get past Oliveira's guard, which not many people could get past Oliveira's guard. So if that's the problem, I don't know if Khabib could deal with that. That's why I genuinely don't know who would win against Oliveira and Khabib. I know I'm coming off as a delusional Oliveira fan, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm picking Charles, but I'm saying I think it's closer than some people make it out to be, you know? And look, like I said, people are going to be mad about the list. At the end of the day, it's tough to make a top 15 list. There's always going to be somebody that you could have done differently. But I think Oliveira is the lightweight GOAT. I think he has more finishes. I'm taking my like back. Yeah. I'm pissing off people with this one. Number 9. Oh, no. So next one, I believe, is the one I messed up. Number 9, Kamaru Usman. Okay, Usman at the time, guys. Usman, when he was champ, was fighting the who's who, was fighting them, not just even just fighting them, but beating them at their own style, like the Masvidal fight, right? Stood with Masvidal, yes, went for some takedowns, knocked out Masvidal, and first of all, like I said, went on a dominant run at lightweight, or not lightweight, welterweight, won the Ultimate Fighter, and then had wins against like Leon Edwards Young. Obviously, he lost Leon Edwards later, but we'll get to that. You know, works his way up to a title, beats Tyron Woodley for 5 rounds, dominates Tyron Woodley, comes back, fights Colby Covington, beats Colby. We know Colby is good, and Colby especially at that time. That's pretty reasonable. Okay, yeah, 9 is it's fair, and Colby and he knocked out people, finished people, beat Gilbert Burns, which is another good name, underrated name. Who else did he beat? Well, he was beating Leon Edwards for most of that second fight, and then got knocked out at the end. And even against Hamzat, like he's lost, yes, but look at his last loss against Hamzat, who just did what he did to Robert Whittaker. I mean, it is insane. And this was Usman on like 10 days notice. This was him taking Hamzat on short notice. 1,000% reasonable and 1,000% correct. You got to put him somewhere in this top 10. Next one. Now this one I'm not, okay, so this is the one that got mixed up with Volkanovski. So this was supposed to be where Volkanovski is, and this is where, oh no, never mind, guys. Never mind. But Volkanovski is actually ahead of this. So let's talk about Jose Aldo. I think if he moved up to middleweight and grabbed a few wins instead of sitting on ranked, he would be higher. Potentially. I appreciate Jack's boldness with some of these, even though I don't agree. Yeah, look. At the end of the day, you're putting yourself out there. There's always going to be someone not happy with the list. This is so subjective, and like I said, I'm not just basing this on who would win or who, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I consider, okay? Number 8, Jose Aldo. So Aldo, like I said, big thing I consider is length, and that's what he has. I mean, he was champion and undefeated for a long time, was unbeaten, and obviously lost to Conor McGregor, but look, beat guys like Chad Mendes, had a long win streak at featherweight, went down at bantamweight, had a whole career of his own there. You know, yes, he lost to Petr Yan, but even now he's winning some fights. I mean, he lost to Mario Bautista, but look, Bautista didn't exactly batter him. He had some moments there. It was a close fight, and what do you call it? And was, you know, a very close fight, honestly. He beat Jonathan Martinez, which I know Jonathan Martinez isn't the biggest name, but look, still a young guy. And at this age, you would think he would not be as good as he should be, right? But he is. He's pretty good, and he's going to continue the fight, I'm sure. Marty Fake Newsman, Kamaros Newsman, the CEO of EPO. What is it, like a Colby Burner in here? So yeah, I think Jose 1,000% deserves to be here. And this was supposed to be, so switch this with Volker. So keep in mind, so this is Max Holloway. Let's go all the way back. This is supposed to be where Max Holloway is. So Max Holloway 13. And this, I fucked up, I think, when making these graphics, because I was like, that's a little low for Volkanovski. I thought I'd put him higher. Volkanovski, number 7. Max Holloway, pretend this is number 13. So Max Holloway deserves to be number 13 and potentially could even be higher because, yes, he lost to Ilia Topuria, but beat Justin Gaethje. I mean, Justin Gaethje knocked him out, outclassed him, moving up a weight class, but also had his dominant run at featherweight. And like I said, he lost to Aldo. Yes, he beat Aldo. But this isn't a list, because keep in mind, this is supposed to be 13. This isn't a list, meaning, each person, he beats each person, because he did beat a very game Jose Aldo. But, you know, he beat a lot of guys at featherweight, beat or Brian Ortega. And the first 2 fights of Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski were extremely, extremely close. So, you know, you can't rate Volkanovski and not rate Max Holloway because, yeah, obviously Max completely outclassed him. And had wins against Frankie Edgar. And overall, yeah, just an OG. So he's number 13. I would put Volkanovski as number 7. Sorry, guys, about that blunder. Let's move on to top 6. I think one of these might piss people off, you know, that's coming up. But number 6, Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier only losses were to Stipe and John Jones. Now, Stipe, I'm sure you guys guess is not on the list, but he could have very well. I mean, this was one that was very close to me putting on it. He would be like a number 16. So I interrupt, but an actual question: how is your relationship with Guru, Flakas, Puglisi, Bedtime, Keon, and all those guys? I have zero relationship with those guys, so I don't talk to any of them. I don't know them, but look, I don't mind them. I don't mind, it's not like I hate them or anything. But like I said, Daniel Cormier, only losses were to Stipe and to John Jones. And obviously, look, the John Jones fight, the loss he had went to a decision. The other loss wasn't really lost because, no contest. Then he lost to Stipe twice, but also knocked Stipe out in the first round and also beat Derek Lewis. And during that time, he had very bad back problems. Went toe-to-toe with Stipe. And one of the more underrated fighters, at one point was pound for pound the best fighter. He got knocked down by Rumble Johnson, was able to come back and submit Johnson and finish a lot of guys, and did well at heavyweight. So, that's Daniel Cormier. Now, number 5, man, I'm almost scared to turn this because I think that you guys might turn on me at this one, but I'm gonna go with Amanda Nunes, guys. I think Amanda Nunes is in that top 5 area. I mean, guys, think about it like this. She was pretty much champion from 200 to 300 era. I mean, and look, the biggest hole with Amanda Nunes is, of course, the level of competition. The featherweight division is a joke of a division. And what do you call it? It's a joke of the division, let's just be honest. But look, beat Miesha Tate, who at the time was very good. Beat Ronda Rousey, which, look, in hindsight, we could all comment, be like, oh, Ronda Rousey sucks, this, that, now with the striking. But look, she has a good ground game, and Amanda Nunes did what she did to Ronda Rousey, knocked her out in the first round, beat tons of girls, and just kept, Chris Cyborg is a phenomenal win. Whatever you want to say about all the other ones, I know Megan Anderson is exactly the best name. Look, Chris Cyborg is a good name. So, beat Irene Aldana, not saying that she's the greatest, but beat her in dominant fashion, just the way that she beats her. Juliana Pena, I mean, that's the big hole, I would say. Like, losing to Juliana Pena is a bit embarrassing, but, especially, like, seeing how, like, close to Raquel, she beat Raquel Pennington. I mean, I think she would beat Kayla Harrison. I think she would beat Kayla Harrison if she comes back. Because I think she's good. I think she has good takedown defense. I think she's strong. She obviously has power. She, a lot of girls don't finish, have a lot of finishes. She has a lot of first round finishes. And I think Amanda Nunes was so dominant. Amanda had Ronda and Pena looking goofy out there. Exactly. And look, those are former champions. You can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, that's on the resume. Former champion. She's got the finishes. She's got the win streak. She's got everything. I think she deserves to be high up. So that's my number 5th pick. Number 4. Demetrius Johnson. Now, I think probably everybody knows the top 4, who's going to be in this top 4. It's just a matter of where's the placement. And Demetrius Johnson, look, he had a long win streak after the featherweight division. I've seen a lot of people we talked about, I think on the Sunday live stream, people were saying, oh, is Pantoja above Demetrius Johnson? I don't think so at this point. Demetrius Johnson has been a champion for a long time, also had finishes. It wasn't like his fights were all extremely boring. I mean, not every single fight. Like, of course, there was a few duds, let's not lie to ourselves. But look, he had the flying arm bar. He had cool moments like that. I mean, the fight against Henry Cejudo I thought was rather entertaining. Beats Henry Cejudo in the first round at one time. Where am I? Hey, Kevin Lee, you're in here. You're number 1. Don't worry. Top 2, not 2. You know what I mean? So yeah. But how's the GFL, Kevin? I see a lot of holes in these fighters' games. Yeah, well, keep doing you, bro, and you'll make it to the GFL. I don't know who is going to be in this top 4. I mean, I think everybody has the same kind of people in the top 4. It's just, a matter of who. But I'm curious. Like I said, comment below. Let me know your top 15. I'm curious. I think look, a few of these kind of seem like head scratchers, like, huh? But, when you're making this list out, look, it makes sense. Kevin, love the samurai tattoo. Same. But no, number 3, George St. Pierre. Look, George St. Pierre, I think I think he would probably be the greatest at welterweight of all time. And And Usman does really rival that. Like, he really does rival it. But look, GSP, he was very well rounded. I think he had phenomenal wrestling. I think the wrestling could have even neutralized. And I think that George St. Pierre is a better striker. I think he's got a really good jab. So does Usman. But he's got a good jab, was very fast, had a good karate background that really helped him. But most of all, his wrestling. I mean, he would take you down and hold guys. And that's my main problem with GSP, is the lack of finishes. Now, look, there is honestly a lot of stinker fights in GSP's career. I love GSP as a person, love him in interviews, love everything, but he doesn't have too many finishes, and that to me is why he's number 3 and not like number 2 or even number 1. And what do you call it? I think George St. Pierre, look, I think that he has some good names on his resume. I mean, Carlos Condit. I mean, Nick Diaz. It isn't the best in terms of talent, but look, it's a name, especially in the Strikeforce days. He was a lot better, a lot known. He has Matt Hughes on his resume. He did lose to Matt Hughes, but he also beat him. Matt Serra, he beat eventually. I mean, that's probably like the worst look, is that he lost to Matt Serra. He beat Johnny Hendricks, even though it was a pretty decent robbery. I think I said Carlos Condit already. Damian Maya. Oh, no, he didn't beat Damian Maya. I'm mixing it up with another guy on this list. But, yeah, he just has some good names. Came back to beat Michael Bisping. I know Michael Bisping isn't exactly the most impressive middleweight to beat ever. But, look, he still came out of retirement to go up a weight class. Would have been crazy if he fought Robert Whittaker. I don't think he would have won against Whittaker. Whittaker's another guy I could have easily put on this list. Whittaker also very good. And, yeah, so that is my number 3 pick, George St. Pierre. So, number 2, and after this, I'm sure you guys will figure out who my number 1 is, Anderson Silva. So, Anderson Silva, guys, in his prime, when he was really the first champion, I mean, you would be lucky to get out of the second round with this guy. His striking, one of the best. I mean, I think either him or Alex, best strikers in UFC history. It's either him or Pereira, because Anderson Silva had crazy finishing ability, even from the ground. His jiu-jitsu was insane. Has names like Chael Sonnen on his resume. Damian Maya he has on his resume, and obviously that was a pretty boring fight. But he would do things like literally get criticized for goofing off against top-level guys like Damian Maya at the time, where I know Damian Maya's a jiu-jitsu guy. People might be like, oh, he's just going to, pull guard and stuff like that. Look, it's still Damian Maya. Damian Maya has been around for a long time. He's retired now, but, did fight guys, gave Tyron Woodley a close fight. And look, so Anderson Silva, he played around. Like, Tyron Woodley tried against Damian Maya and had a tough fight. Anderson Silva played around with him. You know what I mean? And what do you call it? So I think that, I think, like I said, and I want to say off the bat, I do think that, what do you call it? I do think that, GSP, would beat Anderson Silva. I do think that. And I think that just because he's number 2 and loses number 3 doesn't change anything. But, I also want to talk, because I did want to talk about GSP and Anderson Silva, because that's such an interesting fight. I always wish that fight happened. I think GSP would have won. I think it would have held him down. I think he has the better grappling and all of that. And I think like I said, I think he just would have done better. But I think Anderson Silva, you got to consider how fast he would finish his opponents. It was super impressive, and I know maybe people will say he doesn't have the best names. He did lose to Chris Weidman, and not that Chris Weidman's a bad name, but I'm just saying he did lose eventually. But he went on a long unbeaten streak. Obviously, he had that front kick against Vitor Belfort, not to mention Dan Henderson. He had good names on his resume. But speaking of good resume, I think the guy that has it all, the guy that you can't deny, the guy that I think gets shit on too much in terms of his fighting ability. You could make fun of his character. You could shit on him all you want. Jon Jones, the GOAT, in my opinion. I think he's the GOAT. I don't think many people could dispute this. Look, here's the thing about Jon Jones, all right? Jon Jones, yes, is there some big holes to steroid stuff? 1,000%. If you're someone that tells me and says, hey, Jack, I'm not going to put Jon Jones as number 1 because of the steroids, acceptable. I can't argue against that. But the reason why I don't consider these types of things is because the reason I don't consider it is because I feel like you don't know who is on steroids and who is not. A lot of people think GSP was on steroids. I'm not saying he is. I'm not throwing out any accusations. Just saying that a lot of people do. And I guarantee you there's tons of fighters that are on steroids that don't get caught. I think we all agree. I think we all know that there is a whole lot of fighters that are you know, fighting now, fighting before, that were on steroids or on steroids right now, and we don't know. It's just how it is. It's how the sport is. So for me, I don't think it's fair. Well, not fair. Let me not say fair, but I don't think it's well, it's also not fair. Well, actually, no, cut that out. Actually, I'm not saying it's not fair, whatever. But I think it's unrealistic for us to say, okay, well, let's count out the fighters that weren't caught. At the end of the day, it's sadly it's what happens. And yeah, so John Jones. I mean, it's a massive hole. Oh shit, guys, hold on. It's a massive hole. I just went back. It's a massive hole in John Jones's legacy. I mean, let's be honest. Like, the reason John Jones isn't talked about how he should be talked about with his finishes and his accolades and all that is because of the steroid use. So this is my number one. I think, look, he has the finishes. He has great. I mean, one of my favorite fights to watch of John Jones is the fight with Shogun. The way that he just broke him down. I mean, even how he broke down Stipe last. But like I said, let's get into, like, he beat Vitor Belfort. He beat Vitor Belfort. Obviously, had that close call with the armbar, but beat Dan Henderson. Beat who else? Who did he beat? He beat Rashad Evans, Rampage Jackson. He beat OSP. Beat Daniel Cormier, who was on this list. Beat who else? Wow, there's a big name that I'm like, yo, I want to mention. He beat Alexander Gustafsson, beat Dominic Reyes, beat who else did he beat? Beat Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith. I mean, now we're kind of scraping the bottom barrel. But look, he beat a bunch of guys at light heavyweight. That's the point. And then he moves, takes years off, takes time, comes up and wait to fight Cyril Gane. Now, Cyril Gane, and a lot of people say, oh, it was a good style matchup. Guys, I don't know where this energy was at the time because I was like the only guy picking John Jones. All right, everybody is saying that everyone says, like, look, that he that this is an easy style matchup. Check my comment section at that time, bud. Everybody was picking Cyril Gane. Everyone was telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and now all of a sudden, oh, it was an easy style matchup. So give him credit. He beat Cyril Gane coming off of a long layoff, literally to a new weight class. Cyril Gane had a ton of advantages in that fight. Just because he couldn't wrestle, it doesn't mean anything. And I think a lot of that had to do with John Jones. John Jones, I made a video at the time, but John Jones did so many brilliant things to cut the game plan of Cyril Gane off, to just fuck Cyril Gane up. And that helped so much. And yeah, he did lose to Reyes, and I'll check the Discord for sure. And stuff like that, you know. And actually, speaking of which, join the Discord, guys, if you guys are watching, because look, if you guys are watching live, look, we always talk in the Discord anytime, all times. Talk MMA. Let me see. Did you put it? All right, let's hear this top 15. Pantoja number 15, 14 Cruz, 13 Aldo, 12 Stipe, fair, 11 Silva. Are you talking about Anderson Silva? If this is Anderson Silva, now you're just lost it. Yeah, I think you are talking about Anderson Silva. This is pretty nuts. 10 Max, 9 Khabib, 8 Usman, 7 Pereira. I don't know how you have Pereira over Silva, but that's my opinion. DC, 6. 5 DJ, 4 Islam, 3. Yeah, that is Anderson. Yeah, so this is Anderson. 3 Volk, 2 GSP, 8 Jones. No, I don't think you could have Anderson Silva that low. That's just a little ridiculous now. Come on. You can't have Anderson Silva that low. The finishes this guy has, the you know, look, his level of competition wasn't really all that bad. Like, he has, especially early on, bro, Silva's unbelievably overrated. He isn't even in my top 5. Guys, this is insane talk, man. This is insane talk. Silva doesn't have any good all-time wins. He had a crazy losing streak. Yeah, the losing streak, well, obviously I'm not counting a losing streak, dude. Like, I feel like if we're going to count that, then, I mean, I guess if you want to lower him, but I'm talking about prime. Like, I consider the prime of their career. Like, Max Holloway got finished by Ilia Topuria, which doesn't hinder my thoughts on him. Like I said, same thing with Jose Aldo. Jose lost to, Volkanovski. No, Aldo lost to Max, but I have Max above, or I mean, I'm sorry, Aldo lost to Max, but I have Aldo above Max, if you guys get what I mean. So I don't think losing streaks and all that. I'm talking about just prime for prime. You know, what do they have done, the accomplishments they have, the title defenses, the wins that they have, the way that they win, etc. And guys, I think Anderson Silva, I think this is crazy as talk, because I think out of a lot of these guys, I think Anderson Silva's style would translate decent today. I mean, look at the fight with Forrest Griffin. That his timing is unbelievable. And he does have some decent wins. That guy's Damian Maia. He was playing around with Damian Maia. Wasn't even focused and won. He beat Dan Henderson. That's a good win. You got to look at someone's full career. If you look at Aldo's prime, he's probably like 12. No, I also count Aldo's prime as well. I feel like Aldo. Look, I'm talking about like a not prime, but like decent career. Before, yeah, he beat them before. Like, you know, I mean, look, if you guys want to say, look, if you guys in your look, if that's your opinion on how you grade it, I don't blame you. But in my opinion, like, no, I think you got to put Silva up there. Silva had great title defenses. He has, I think, like the most consecutive title defenses, or most consecutive. What is the record? Like, I think most consecutive title defenses, something like that. Maia was a welterweight fighting at middleweight. Yeah, of course. Look, at the end of the day, though, it's like he still is an elite level guy. And look, what about Dan Henderson? I mean, let me look. Chael Sonnen. I mean, that's a good name. Chael Sonnen. He was losing in the first fight, but came back in the second one. Anderson Silva. Let me see. I'm looking at his record right now, guys. Travis Lutter did a lot for the world of jiu-jitsu. Forrest Griffin knocked. I mean, the way he finished him was crazy. Vitor Belfort. Pretty good. And yeah, guys, look, Derek Brunson. I mean, come on. No, but in all seriousness, guys, look, I understand. Let's see, longest win streak, man. No, I think you got to put Silva a little higher than 11, guys. Look, if you want to say that, maybe you think like, I don't know, like that Volkanovski's above him, I would disagree, but fine. But 11, guys, you can't. Chael is pretty overrated. He's only memorable for his trash talk. Look, I can smell Silva from here. I don't know what you mean by that, but look, Silva, I think, come on, guys. I think I'm shocked to hear all of this. Belfort, 185, was a shell of his former self. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we can make, like, this is crazy, because this is what I feel like people do for John Jones, is make, like, excuses for each one. But come on, guys. We're going to make excuses for each one of Anderson's wins. I mean, come on. You know? Let's see. I'm going to see if there's any news right now before we wrap things up, and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, look, it's my opinion, guys. You know what I'm saying? And let's see. Any news. What is this? Oh, they're downhill from Ariel. Let's see, guys. Oh, Deontay Wilder coming back. Let's see. Well, let's not play that. Look, these AI images are crazy. Right? I mean, these are crazy. What the hell is this? I don't want to play. Well, actually, no, I think this is from the phone, so we could play. What is going on here? What the hell? Let's look at some news. Oh, look, this is the undisputed video game. Higher overall than Planet. Yeah, higher overall than Plant is crazy. The Jake Paul has a higher rating than Caleb Plant in undisputed. Oh my god, guys! I want to play soon enough. I want to play a game on stream soon. That's in the works. Yeah, it's crazy that that the whole stuff that's happening with Bellator and GFL. I'm going to do a video, talk about it tomorrow. The GFL stuff that's happened, the new MMA league that's coming out. Jones wins are pretty overrated as well. Let's see this. Let me switch to just chatting. Jones wins are pretty overrated as well. I've got him higher due to DC wins, and since his only loss is Reyes. Yeah, no, he definitely lost to Reyes. I don't think anybody could disagree with that. That's an extremely bad decision. But no, I don't think his wins are overrated at all. I mean, dude, Dan Henderson. I know people may say, like, oh, middleweight and all this, like, middleweight. Guys, like, these guys were still elite. Like, you know, the fact that he won for so long and finished a lot of these guys, and just even look at the Stipe fight. The Stipe fight was unbelievable. I really don't think that had to do with Stipe. I thought Stipe actually didn't look all that. I don't think Stipe was that bad going into the fight. I think that John Jones made him look really bad. Jones's wins won't age well. If Islam beats Shavkat and Arman, then gets a welterweight win defense, he'll surpass Jones. It's a welterweight title defense. Yeah, there's definitely an argument to be made if that happens. If that were to happen, it depends too who the welterweight is. I mean, he beats, who is the champ? Bilal? Yeah, beating Bilal would be impressive. And then if he beat, like, I'm trying to think who, or if he beat, like, Shavkat, Bilal, the winner of that, and then beat, really anybody. I don't think anybody would disagree then, yeah. But that's a big if. That's a big, and I don't think Islam will go up. I don't think so. I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll try to keep those divisions separate. He'll have beaten Silva's win streak record by then. Who, Islam? Maybe. Yeah, Islam's won a lot, right? I think Islam could. I've said for years, I've said before the Abu Dhabi fight, I said it on the channel, Islam, I think, could go down as the GOAT of all time. I genuinely think he has the skill set for that. I think he could go up to welterweight and win. I think that could definitely be, at the end of the day, I think that could definitely be what happens to Islam. He'll probably fight JDM or Buckley. Well, that's a little underwhelming of a title defense, but hey, it is what it is. Jones's career is unbelievably overrated. Eye pokes against everybody. Most of his big wins were against past their prime up middleweights. I don't think Shogun was past his prime. Shogun was good. I think the Rampage win was good. If Islam gets 3 more wins, he'll break the record. Wow. No, and like I said, I genuinely think Islam, I think could be up there. I know Islam wasn't even in the top 15, but look, he's got a... the problem with Islam is that even though he's winning, his wins aren't as impressive as they were with Khabib. Like, Khabib was dominating these guys. Khabib was, he didn't take any damage, but look at the fight with even Dustin Poirier. There were close calls with Islam where he felt like, oh, Dustin might have some momentum here. Look at the fight with Volkanovski, the first fight. Obviously, the second fight was on short notice. Can't really judge that. But the first fight with Islam, it didn't look so good against a featherweight coming up. Now, look, that's nothing against Islam. I think that has to say about Volkanovski. But but look, it wasn't exactly the best showing against Oliveira. That's probably his best performance to date. Shogun was a good win. Rampage was like a TKZ win. I guess. Lyoto Machida, but it's not even just about the competition. It's also about consider how he's beating them. Like, it's not like I'm saying, like, oh, if he got a close decision, that's a different story. I'm not saying, oh, well, at least he beat him. No, it's about, too, how you're beating these guys, and his IQ. But, yeah, I think that's my top 15, guys. And, look, it's going to be up for debate. And we're going to soon enough do more of these, of these lists and things like that. There'll be a live stream 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, as well as a live stream. Just live stream 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about UFC Tampa, the events that happened for the card. And we'll also, like I said, tomorrow, 10 p.m. video, there'll be a prediction out, as well as, like I said, news video breaking down all the news in MMA out tomorrow. Yeah, guys, you guys are killing it, man. I love doing these live streams. Love talking to you guys. Next live stream, I don't know what it'll be. I'll probably reveal tomorrow's video. I'll figure out by tonight what the segment is going to be. It's who you're beating, not how you're beating them. I think it's also how you're beating them. I think 1,000%. That's for me. Also was considered in the GOAT conversation. I think it's how you beat them too. Like I said, GSP I thought was behind. Looking as of now, this is your top 5 is Khabib, Volkanovski, Pereira, Kane, and Fedor. I think, Kane is one of those guys that I think Kane could have went down as like the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I think that Cain Velasquez, just injuries, I think took him out. I think it's unfortunate that his fight with Fabricio Werdum happened at altitude. I think he could have beaten Fabricio if that fight didn't happen at altitude, in my opinion. I think that he just got tired there. I think he really could have gone on and potentially got a lot more title defenses. I would have loved to see. But that's why. But just because of that, I think you got to give it to Stipe as the GOAT. I forgot GSP. Yeah, like I said, there's so many people you got to remember. Interesting, Jones not in the top 5. But Pereira number 3 is interesting. I don't agree with Pereira being number 3. Volkanovski being number 2. But it's just crazy. You see, like, people will never agree on a top 15. Nobody will agree. And that's what makes it interesting. I think a lot of people judge it from different metrics. I judge it from a different metric. Then maybe one person will, another person will. And that's just how it is, guys. But GSP is right there, and thanks for your recognition of Kane and Stipe. Yeah, no, Kane is Kane. Kane is someone that it hurt me not to put on the list because I think he's extremely underrated in terms of the discussion of like grades. Definitely underrated. And I think he's done so many things in his resume. And the fights with Junior Dos Santos were amazing. And he's extremely dominant, the 2 wins he had over him. And obviously he lost, but the fuck he get caught, that's that. But look, I think at the end of the day, I think Kane's underrated, and it just sucks, man. I think a lot of outside the cage stuff happened. Jack, pick up the Discord, Carl. Let me see. It's fun to debate and enjoyed your list. It's hard now that you mentioned Stipe. Damn. No, I know. Yeah, Stipe. It's hard because Stipe beat Werdum and beat a lot of the guys. He beat Junior Dos Santos and all those guys. I don't see any Discord call, and I'm about to end this. So, but there will be a Discord section soon, guys. I'm trying to see, guys. I really don't know how to use Discord, guys, so I got to figure this out. But there will be a Discord section soon. Maybe next Thursday we'll do the Discord call. So, guys, make sure to join in the Discord. We're going to advertise it on the channel a bit, too, so we got more people popping out. Stipe the GOAT, enough said. Yeah, I think Stipe has to be the GOAT in terms. He really probably could have found a placement maybe on the list. Maybe I could have moved a few things. But, yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't see no Discord call, and I got to go, honestly. I'm running a little short on time. So, guys, I appreciate everything you guys have done today, just chatting in the chat. I appreciate the support, appreciate the likes, appreciate the comments. Check out the video that came out yesterday. New video tomorrow, live stream on Sunday. Tune into all those things, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base to MMA. Hit the subscribe button. Like, we'll do it another time then. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, next Thursday, I think we'll do it. I think we'll do it next Thursday. But, guys, thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, tune in. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome here. So, tune in, guys.